So now we got everyone's favorite team of misfits, the Guardians of the Galaxy, taking on Wonder Woman. Who wins? Well, let's find out. Now, the first Guardians of the Galaxy were a team of freedom fighters in the 31st century, but the name was later used for the team Star-Lord formed to deal with galactic-level threats. Now, for this battle, the team will consist of Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, and Rocket Raccoon, and Groot. Now, Peter Quill is a human-alien hybrid and the leader of the Guardians. While he doesn't have any superhuman abilities, he does have his element gun. This weapon is able to turn people into stone, create gusts of wind, shoot fire and water, or even create lightning strikes powerful enough to take down Angela, Thor's half-sister. Gamora is a highly skilled and feared galactic assassin, even being known as the deadliest woman in the universe. Gamora has been physically enhanced to be equal of Adam Warlock and is surprisingly quick and agile. She is one of the most skilled fighters in the Marvel Universe, having trained in 83.4% of all known fighting styles in the galaxy. She's been able to fight against The Thing, She-Hulk, and Captain Marvel, and even go up against Thanos. Her preferred weapons are swords and knives, with her favorite being the Godslayer. After his family was killed by Thanos, Drax's sole purpose in life became to destroy the Mad Titan. He is able to lift about 100 tons and is superhumanly durable. He's incredibly proficient in combat and is a master in multiple different forms of alien martial arts. Drax also enjoys using knives in battle, and tends to use a pair of knives made of an unknown material. Rocket Raccoon has been a long-time member of the Guardians, and usually serves as the team's chief strategist. While Rocket isn't nearly physically impressive enough to battle against Wonder Woman, he does carry around a massive arsenal. He's got guns and pistols capable of killing superpowered opponents, and grenades capable of blowing up massive spaceships. Then Rocket also has large cannons that even the threat of using them was enough to make a weakened Thanos surrender. Then finally, we've got Groot. Groot is the muscle of the team, and has been able to take down giant monsters, tangle a gladiator, and even land powerful attacks against Thanos. He is also able to create miniature clones of himself, and create and manipulate wood. The Guardians are a quite capable team, taking down incredibly powerful opponents because of their teamwork and Rocket's tactical genius. In fact, Peter called Rocket the greatest tactical mind that he's ever met, and Star-Lord has crossed paths with Captain America, Cyclops, and Iron Man. And then in the other corner of Wonder Woman, the princess of the Amazons, armed with the powers of a god, Wonder Woman is one of Earth's most powerful defenders of peace and equality, and a member of the Justice League. She's often considered an archetype for the comic book superheroine. She stands for love, peace, and above all else, truth. Wonder Woman's powers are a result of a blessing from the gods, and she is one of the most powerful superheroes in the DC Universe. Her super strength is comparable to the Earth itself, and she's on the same level as Superman and Shazam. She's been able to help move the Earth alongside Clark and Martian Manhunter, and with the launch of the New 52, when Dana removes her bracelets, her strength greatly increases, and she goes into berserker rage. Wonder Woman's top speed has never been documented, but she is faster than half the speed of light, and is able to keep up with characters like Jesse Quick. However, because of Diana's years of combat training, her reflexes even surprise the likes of Cal. She has an insane level of durability, and can resist thermonuclear explosions, hellfire, Superman's heat vision, and has withstood attacks on the Man of Steel, and even gods. She can fly at hypersonic speeds, doesn't grow tired, and has incredibly enhanced senses. She's been granted a degree of wisdom by the goddess Athena, which greatly helps with her tactical ability, and she is among the smartest and wisest members of the Justice League. Wonder Woman is a master of armed and unarmed combat, and is trained in a variety of different forms of martial arts. In fact, Batman considered her to be the greatest melee fighter on the planet, even putting her above Superman thanks to the extent of her training and her powers. Wonder Woman was gifted with the lasso of truth, which was forged by the Greek god Hephaestus, and is unbreakable, and forces people to tell the truth. She also has the bracelets of victory, which are a pair of indestructible steel cuffs that are forged from the remains of Zeus' shield. Wonder Woman can use her reflexes to deflect projectiles, blades, punches, and even Darkseid's Omega beams. When Diana crosses them to protect her, the bracelets generate an energy shield, and they can protect her from large explosions and collisions. She's also learned how to emit a devastating lightning attack thanks to the bracelet's connection to Zeus. Wonder Woman also has a magical sword that she uses specifically against people with invulnerability, because invulnerability generally doesn't work against magical items. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, Wonder Woman clearly outclasses all of them physically. I mean, there have been a couple of times in the comics where Superman compared her to himself in terms of raw power. However, the Guardians are a team, and that team dynamic is what gives it the potential to go either way. Now, Drax will be the first one to charge into the fray and try and go punch for punch with Wonder Woman, and that isn't the smartest thing for him to do here. He is a powerhouse in his own right, but just nowhere near Diana's level to be anything more than a stubborn distraction. At best, Drax will be able to keep her distracted for a few moments, but that would actually be enough time for other Guardians to step in here. Gamora is arguably just as skilled a fighter as Wonder Woman. She's defeated entire armies by herself and is one of the greatest fighters in the Marvel Universe. And then she's also got the Godslayer on her side, and Wonder Woman has a certain vulnerability to piercing or bladed attacks. However, the problem for Gamora is that she is vastly outclassed in terms of strength. I mean, Wonder Woman has managed to help pull the Earth before, and that is so much more than we've ever seen Gamora do. But really, it's debatable how much of a problem this strength difference will be. I mean, Gamora has gone up against Ronan the Accuser, She-Hulk, Captain Marvel, and even sparred against Thanos. All those characters vastly outclass her physically, but yet she was able to use her fighting skills to make it very difficult for them. I can see the same thing happening here. Then Groot cannot be underestimated, as he is quite the underrated powerhouse. He's been able to physically beat down the monster Badoon, and even land powerful attacks on Thanos. So he'll be able to injure Wonder Woman, and she definitely is going to feel those punches. Then you take that strength and add in Groot's instant healing, ability to grow himself, and dendrokinesis strong enough to restrain the Hulk with tree roots. Well, he is quite a force to be reckoned with. But here's the catch. Groot does have one notable weakness: bladed weapons. Like when he went up against Angela, her sword, which is sharp enough to cut atoms, was giving him tons of trouble. Wonder Woman has a sword just like that, and so she'll be able to continuously harm Groot and keep him concentrating on healing instead of fighting. Then we've got Rocket Raccoon and Star-Lord. Rocket's guns are incredibly powerful, as they've been able to destroy battlecruisers, hit Nova while he's flying at superhuman speeds, and threaten Thanos. So they're enough to keep Wonder Woman on the ropes if he launches a constant attack. And then while Star-Lord is definitely the weakest member of the group, he isn't altogether useless. His element gun is surprisingly powerful, as he's been able to finish off Angela with a lightning blast. However, both Rocket and Peter just don't have the durability to hang with Wonder Woman. Star-Lord will be done with one punch. And while Rocket is more durable than people give him credit for, he'll be down shortly after. Then Wonder Woman's bracelets will be able to block anything that the two can throw at her. I mean, if they can block Darkseid's Omega beams, then they can block Rocket and Peter's attacks. Really, like I mentioned earlier, Wonder Woman is just too physically powerful, and will be able to defeat each member of the team on their own. However, the question then flips over to whether or not Peter or Rocket could devise a plan to take her down. After all, they are some of the greatest strategic minds in the Marvel Universe. Now, in theory, yes, they definitely could devise a plan, but that plan would probably boil down to whatever additional weapon that Rocket could bring to the fight. After all, he's the only one who wasn't really limited by his powers or abilities, since his abilities are his guns. Basically, what I mean is that Gamora or Groot aren't going to develop any new fantastical abilities, but Rocket can bring a new and fantastical ability to the fight because he can bring a new and fantastical weapon. And while Rocket's weapons are powerful, they still aren't anything that Diana couldn't deflect, dodge, or simply outlast and survive. That's also working off the assumption that she would let Rocket get shots off. If she's actually trying, that she's taking down the raccoon before he has the chance. At the end of the day, I believe the Guardians could beat her, but only if all their abilities were combined into a single person. As a team, they expose too many open vulnerabilities that Diana could take advantage of. Peter and Rocket aren't durable. Gamora isn't as strong. Drax isn't as strong or as good of a fighter. And Groot is vulnerable to bladed weapons. Wonder Woman is insanely powerful, one of the best fighters in the DC universe, and she's just too much for the team. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Just sound off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe button. More videos just like this one every single day. I will see y'all next time.